Hey, welcome to lesson 2. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to watch the other videos, other lessons. So this lesson is all about setting up properly. Listen, again, this lesson is about setting up properly. It's setting yourself up for success. You're going to be doing things at the beginning to ensure you have good email deliverability. It's not just about building a list and sending offers anymore. That's what people used to say in email marketing: build a list, send offers, you're going to make money. It's not all about that anymore. You have to make sure that you do certain things and that certain things are done at the beginning and done correctly for you to succeed in email marketing. This is one of the reasons I recommend the software I mentioned a couple of lessons ago, because you need all this stuff to do it right and do it correctly. So email marketing is all about numbers, not just on the size of your list. It's all about numbers. The more the what you have in a list and who responds comes out to how much you're going to make. The more people see your emails, the more that they open them, the better chance you have of making money. And I know that's pretty self-explanatory, but that's just, the more that they see them, they open them, the better chance you have of making money, because hopefully they respond. So let's do some quick calculations real quick. I just want to break down some numbers and have you look at this. Let's say there are two people who have email lists, and they are both promoting the exact same offer, which is $30. The first person has a list of 100,000 people, and on average, they get around 1% response of people actually purchasing a product. So they have 100,000 people on their list that they have built, and whenever they promote a product, they usually get about a 1% response. Now, the second person has a much smaller list. He has a list of around 30,000 people, but he averaged about 5% response. So from the 30,000 people, 5 people actually take action on the product. What list do you think is going to do better? Most likely you're going to say the larger list, because 100,000 people on a list, you start thinking big money. And that's not exactly the case here. The smaller list actually does better. And the reason, and it doesn't sound right, but the math adds up. With 100,000 people and a 1% response, there's 1,000 people responding or actually taking action on an offer. So 1,000 people times 30 obviously is $30,000. That's not bad. I mean, if you have a 100,000 list and you're doing this on a monthly basis and you make 30,000, that is actually very, very good. And that's usually, that's your list, so that's most likely pure profit at this moment. But the second list, the person who has 30,000 people and a 5% response, has 1,500 people actually responding to that offer. That's $45,000. 1,500 times 30, $45,000. Way better, much better. $15,000 more money with 70,000 people less on their list. So it's a big difference. So it's not about having a bigger list. It's about having a more active and engaging list, having more people open your emails. That is why setting up properly at the beginning is so important. You are giving yourself a better chance getting into the customer's inbox instead of their spam folder. And if your emails are going into the customer's spam folder, it doesn't matter how big your list is. You aren't going to make any money. It doesn't matter at all how big your list is. You can have a list of 1 million people. It really doesn't matter. If they're going into your spam box, they're not seeing your emails, you're not going to make any money. Basically, if people aren't seeing your emails, like I just said, you don't have a chance. And this is one of the things that has frustrated me, because nobody ever teaches that. They just say, build a list and you will make money. That's all what email marketers will say now, excuse me, they will say build a list and you're going to make money. But they don't teach you that now, you need to get in the inbox, not the spam box. Okay, so moving forward, can you guess how many emails are sent on a daily basis? Just a quick question. If you watched the video on my sales page, you would know the answer. It's 260 billion emails. And that is daily. And that is rising every single day. It's probably almost around 300 billion now. And out of those 260 billion emails, how many are spam? Again, if you watch the video, you know that answer. About 50% are spam. So out of 260 billion emails being sent daily, 130 billion of those emails are spam daily. B with a billion with a B, 130 billion emails daily are spam. That's a lot. All these spam emails being sent out, they're causing ISP companies, internet service provider companies, to crack down on how emails are being sent. They are looking at what email address is sending the email and making a decision if that email is spam or not. So let's look at one of my email accounts right here. This is a screenshot of one of my email accounts. 34 spam emails in one day. As you can see, that's a lot. I receive more spam emails than regular emails in this account. And other than using this to prove my point, I would never look at these emails ever. I would just delete them. This is just one day. And if you're like me and you check, if you ever look at your spam box, there's a lot of spam emails daily that you're never ever going to respond to. The term ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. And these are companies that that emails get filtered through before reaching the inbox. And if these ISP companies see an email as spam, well, there really isn't any chance of that email reaching a person's inbox. So how do we avoid the spam box and give us a better chance of reaching the inbox? Well, you take steps to make sure that you know the ISP companies, that you show the ISP companies that you are legitimate and not spam. The next steps are going to show you how to do this. So you want to avoid the spam box at all possible. And ISP companies are cracking down on this, so we are going to take steps to help avoid getting into the spam box by showing the ISP companies that we are legitimate. By now you should have picked your niche. If not, I suggest you hold off watching any more of this training until you do that, because it's very, very, very important to have your niche already picked out. After picking out your niche, you'll want to set up an email service provider, also known as an autoresponder. You need this because this is where your emails will be sent from. Like I mentioned in my previous training, my choice is Aweber, but you can use any other service. Other ones are GetResponse, MailChimp, Constant Contact, but you will need an email service provider so that you can send out emails. Again, I chose Aweber, main reason because they have customer service. So if I get stuck anywhere, I can call them and get help. And I don't know how many other platforms have that capability. I know they have email option and chat option, but I don't know if you can actually call them. So this is why I chose Aweber. So what is an email service provider? ESPs, email service providers, allow you to have lists, store email addresses, and send out emails automatically. Let's say you are building a list in the health and fitness niche. Any leads that you receive will go into that list, and then you can send emails to them directly through the ESP company. For Aweber, they have a free account, but if you plan on building multiple lists, which I recommend you do, then you will have to upgrade and it's something like a $19.99. It's definitely something worth it. Eventually, I would recommend paying that $19.99 because you will be making additional lists down the road. Right now, though, I suggest just getting signed up, and we'll go over creating lists later on. You will see a training down the road, lesson 10, where I walk you through everything, how to set up a list, create a landing page, connecting domain names, and all that stuff. So after you sign up with the ESP company, you will want to purchase a domain name. This is for a couple of reasons. The first is it looks way more professional. It just looks a lot better having your own domain name than having some random URL. People will take you more seriously. The second is that once you get a domain, you can get a custom domain email address. And ISP companies, internet service provider companies, see custom domain names as a good thing. They don't view them as spam. So if you're sending an email from a custom domain name, they see that better and you have a way better chance of getting in the inbox. My recommendation for a domain name is HostGator. And that's because you can connect everything together with all the other platforms. So this domain name, let's just talk about domain name right now real quick. This domain name should be something that revolves around your niche. I would suggest a general name instead of something specific because that will allow you to have a broader market. You'll be able to make different landing pages for different markets in that same niche. For example, I personally have a website called profitableonlinestrategies.com. And with that domain name, I can market any kind of offer from make money online, work from home, online marketing, coaching, whatever, just in that niche, in that make money online niche. This website allows me to be able to do whatever I want and be able to make different landing pages. Now, if I had something else, and this is hypothetical, this is not my site, this is nothing, I'm just making it up. It's probably actually already out there, but if it's something like makemoneyinvesting.com, well, that limits me to just investing products. Like I can only really make stuff on investing. I'm very limited. I can't do something else in another area of make money online or what have you because I have investing in there. So it should be general, but at the same time, it should look and sound professional. Like profitableonlinestrategies.com looks good and sounds good. But it also has a general area so you can market different things. So take some time and come up with domain name ideas. I suggest that you come up with 5 to 10 domain name ideas because chances are some of them or almost many or all will be taken. So if you do 5 to 10, hopefully, you can get a couple that are not taken. You really, right here, just need to find one domain name that is available. And basically the simplest way to test if a domain name is available or not is you can go to websites like HostGator.com, Namecheap.com, GoDaddy.com, and in there they're going to have a search area, and you just type in the name of the domain, xyz.com. And it's going to say either available or that it is taken. If it's taken, you just move on and try and check and see if there's another one. If it's available, it will say right away available. So find a domain name that is available, purchase it so that you can have it and it's ready to go. Now, if you're going to purchase it, just make sure you want to purchase it from the place that you want all the other stuff. Like I get mine from HostGator. It's a little more expensive. Namecheap is actually cheaper, but the connecting will have my domain name, my hosting, everything in the same place, so it's easier to connect. If you get a domain name from somewhere else and you get hosting from somewhere else, you have to connect them in a different way. So that's just something completely up to you. But when you find it, just all of them, depending on whatever domain name you find, if it's available, it's going to be available on any of these sites. It's not one or the other. So the next step is to get a hosting plan. And you need this to be able to connect your domain name with your landing page. So you need a hosting plan. Ideally, you want to get a hosting plan that allows you to add multiple or unlimited websites. And this is because you're just going to be making multiple lists, so you have multiple lists, you can have unlimited websites, and, you don't have to spend a lot of money per website. And I'm just going to show you 3 different hosting plans right now. So there's HostGator, there's Bluehost, and there's GoDaddy. There's a number of others, by the way. These are just a few of them. HostGator right here, unlimited websites. All these that are circled are unlimited websites, unlimited, and they all have different plans. I have the baby plan with HostGator, but Bluehost has another one, GoDaddy has one, so check them out. One of the best ways to ensure email deliverability. So I'm moving on from that. So check those out, research those, find the one you want, and go with that. One of the best ways to ensure email deliverability is to have a custom domain name email address. Say that fast, 5 times. Custom domain name email address. I need to stress here that no guru, coach, or any other training will talk about this. You will not get this from anywhere else. You need to have a custom domain name email address, because this really makes email deliverability much more possible. This information alone is worth tons. It's golden. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's huge. Because when an ISP company sees your domain name email address custom instead of Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, they see that as a business. Like I said here, ISP companies don't see these types of emails as spam. They see them coming from a company. When you send an email from a custom domain name email address, you have a much better chance of reaching the customer's inbox. ISP companies in general do not like free emails. For example, Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, Hotmail, they don't really like those. They're good for personal use, but as far as marketing and sending out mass mailings, they are viewed as spam. And that is why email service providers recommend getting a custom domain name email. This right here is what Aweber, which is the email service provider I have, this is what they say about email addresses. They say, decide which name and email subscribers see when they receive your messages. And right here they say, avoid free emails like Gmail or Hotmail. And they go and have a link there that says, help you hit the inbox. They do not like it. So get signed up with an ESP company, and let's move forward onto the next step. And we'll talk about the whole custom domain name email, how that works and how we set it up. So yes, that's it's very important, very, very important to do, which you will not get from any training. No one's going to talk about this. I spent hours and hours with Aweber talking about this and figuring out, what to do and what's good and what's not good. This is one thing that's really big, custom domain name email addresses. Here are some places to get custom domain name emails. HostGator, they give about, I think, at least 50 emails, even maybe more. Just custom domain, whatever you want. You create them. GoDaddy, Zoho, G Suite, all have them. HostGator, like I said, about 50. GoDaddy, I don't know. I think you purchase per email address. Zoho, G Suite, same thing. You want to do your research. Like I've been saying, do your research on which one. Again, I go with HostGator because, if you already have a domain name, if you already have hosting, you can do the same. You can get your email set up. But again, do your research. If there's something you want to do better or want to use, and you don't have a problem connecting the different ones, then do that. Again, Namecheap, domain names are cheaper with Namecheap, so you'll get a less expensive domain name. You may find something that's hosting is a little less expensive, and you may find someplace that you can get a custom domain name for less. So, do your research. Again, I go with HostGator just because it's so easy to navigate all together. Once you find the place you will be getting your domain name email address from, you will want to think of some quality email addresses ideas. So here are just a few right here. Support at xyz.com. That would be after at, it would be your actual domain name. So it's like support at profitableonlinestrategies.com. Contact at xyz.com. Your name at xyz.com. That one actually is very professional because that could be, Matt at, it can be very personal. Matt at, or John at, xyz.com. These email addresses look professional at the same time. They look personal to the customer, so they feel like it's going directly to them, and they can interact a lot better. So after getting your custom domain name email address, this will need to be connected with your ESP, your email service provider. There is a training on this. It's a little bit complicated to do, but as long as you follow through, it won't be a problem. And again, I'm here to help you if you get stuck. I've done this myself. I've put it together. It's just copying code, pasting code on different sections to make sure that the ESP company is working with the company that has the custom domain, and they're talking to each other, and they're allowing emails to go out with that custom domain. Again, I've done it, so I can help walk through if you get stuck. So the last thing you need of all this is a landing page builder. And here are some of the top platforms: ClickFunnels, DropFunnels, Instapage, and Lead Pages. All of these obviously have a cost to them. It's up to you which one you want to choose. Again, I have mentioned in the past that I use ClickFunnels. I'm not saying it's better, not saying anything like that. It is $97 a month. It's just something that I have learned how to use their platform. DropFunnels is more new. They may be better. I haven't really used them. Instapage, I think, is a one-time cost. Lead Pages is a monthly cost as well. So check them out. And then, this basically what the Lead Pages is. This is the page that captures your emails. So, you're going to have a landing page, and someone's going to see that, and there's going to be a spot where they put their email address, and that captures the email. Okay, so at this point, you have chosen your niche. You have signed up to an email service provider. You should have picked out a domain name and purchased it. You should have gotten a hosting plan, preferably with unlimited websites. You should have chosen where you're going to get your custom email address from. And you should have signed up to a landing page platform. By now, you should have all these, and you should be kind of moving forward. So once all that is done, and you are good to go, once that is all set up, you're good to go. I want to show you real quick how all this works and how all this is put together. So you have a domain name, you have hosting, you have a landing page. They're all connected. They all work together to have basically a landing page. You only see the landing page, but you have this site, and the next one shows your landing page, and it shows what it is, and you can see that there is a place where you put the email address in, and from that it goes, once they put their email address in, it goes to an autoresponder, either Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp. It goes to an autoresponder, and from there that autoresponder collects your emails and sends out messages through your custom domain email address. Those messages get sent directly to your customers. This is how email marketing works. And the more active your list is, the better chance you have of making money. So listen, this all may sound confusing right now because there are a lot of moving parts. I get it. There are a lot of things here that you have to put together. But do your best, and if you get stuck, reach out to me, and if I can, and I'm almost sure I can help, I will help. I will do everything I can to guide you and get you, past this spot, because once you get all this set up, then it's just, doing the other things so that you can start actually building lists and making money. Again, also, if you don't understand anything, reach out to me so I can help. When you are done with this lesson, move on to the next lesson, which is lesson 3, finding and creating the right offer.